Hello everyone. Welcome to the fifth lecture of sentence correction. Today we'll be dealing with articles, prepositions and redundancies. These are typically miscellaneous topics that you should know while attempting questions from grammar. Let's go ahead and understand them in details. So the first thing that we will cover today are called articles. Now article is a part of speech that are used to put emphasis on singular countable nouns. So the first point while doing articles is to understand that articles only apply to countable nouns. You cannot apply an article to non-countable. Think of any example, like can you say a milk, a sugar, a hair? That's not possible. Articles is only used with countable nouns, that too with the understanding that they will put emphasis on singular nouns as well. Let's look at some examples. The book is kept on the table. So some specific table, some specific book kept in some specific table. So it should be the. It is a white wall. So any white wall, and wall can be countable. So it is a white wall. The designer has given a highly exaggerated estimate. Now this is for a exaggerated estimate. Estimate can be countable. So this is a countable noun. So that's why you have a highly exaggerated estimate. Ram is standing on a wooden stool. Now which type of stool? Wooden. Can you count stools? Yes, so it should be a wooden stool. That's how you understand articles. Typically for non-countables, as I've told you, we don't use articles. Instead we use quantifiers. Now quantifiers are basically elements which emphasize on the amount rather than anything which is concrete. So it is the amount that is being emphasized through quantifiers. Some examples of quantifiers are words like some, much, little, enough, all, few, and so on. For example, if you look at the first sentence, it says, pass me some salt. Now pass me some salt. If you say pass me a salt, it will not be correct because salt is not countable. Therefore, pass me a salt would be absolutely incorrect. But if you add a quantifier, it puts some emphasis in terms of the amount. Similarly, if I say there is enough food to feed everyone, I am putting some emphasis from a quantity perspective. So these are quantifiers. What you also need to understand is articles are not used before proper nouns. So any names, typically names which are proper nouns, so we don't say any article before a proper noun. So for example, we will say Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India. We will not say the Narendra Modi. So the point is proper nouns don't take articles. Similarly, relationships don't take articles. When you say mother, father, brother, sister, you don't use the word the or a for that matter. Similarly, meals and seasons. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, like for example here, if you say breakfast, lunch, dinner, will not take articles. Similarly, from seasons perspective, anything which is summer, winter, autumn, spring will not take articles. So the point that we understood in this chapter was articles can only be associated with countable nouns, and the emphasis majorly is on singular countable nouns. Then we looked at few examples. We also understood that uncountable nouns for emphasizing needs to be used with quantifiers. Some examples we have seen here, and also we studied that articles are not used before proper nouns, relationships, meals, and seasons. Let's go ahead to the next point. Now the next point is let's understand the usage of articles. Now we have seen what's an article, how does it look like. Typically there are two types of articles that we'll have to deal with. The first type of article is called as an indefinite article. It's either a or an. Now the point to understand is, one, they will always be used with a singular countable noun. So that's the first usage. You will always use it with a singular countable noun. Some examples are words like a pen, a book, a box, a window will always be a. Similarly, indefinite article a is placed before a word beginning with a consonant sound. I hope all of you know what's a consonant. Any letter other than a, e, I, o, u will be consonant. So any word starting with, for example, if I say a glass watch. Starts with G and the sound is also G, so it should be a glass watch. But let's say something like dash MBA. So although it is a consonant, but the sound is M. So the focus is on the syllable E. Therefore, in this case, instead of A, the answer should be an MBA. Similarly, if a question like dash umbrella. See, although it is U, but the sound is umbrella. And therefore, the syllable stressed is a vowel. And therefore, it will be an umbrella. So please keep in mind that an is placed before a word beginning with a vowel sound, not a vowel. So just because you see a vowel doesn't mean it has to be preceded with an indefinite article an. So simple logic, A is used with consonants where the sound is also a consonant, and an is used with vowel sounding syllables. I hope this is clear. Let's go on to the second type of article, which is called the definite article. Now, definite article, the first thing you need to understand is definite article is always used to refer to something extremely specific. If it is not specific, then you will not know if definite article is needed or not. For example, the watch I bought yesterday was stolen. So you are not referring to any watch. You are referring to the watch that you bought yesterday. So specific details are given. Therefore, watch, which is countable singular, will need the. The second is anything which has a defined positioning. For example, bring the bag kept on the last bench. So we can club this logic with the first one, specific. You're not talking about any bag, you're talking about the bag kept on the last bench. So therefore, the bag will also take the. The third is anything which is man-made and or unique. So think of an example which is man-made and unique. For example, Taj Mahal. For example, paintings like the Last Supper, the Mona Lisa will all take the. Here I've taken an example of the Taj Mahal is an art of highest pedestal. Think of planetary systems like the sun, the moon, the stars will all fall under this category. Paintings, famous paintings which have no replica today will all be the. So that anything which is man-made or unique will take the. Then by default for all large water bodies. Now there's some contention involved in this. So large water body essentially refers to seas, oceans and large rivers. Do not use it for smaller ponds and lakes. So typically all seas, all oceans and all large rivers will precede the. Think of an example, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra, the Indian Ocean, the Atlantic, the Pacific. You can have multiple examples on that. The fourth category where you use the are for all group related elements like group of countries, group of mountains, group of islands. The United States of America group. So the name itself tells you the United States. The name itself has different states. So therefore you'll know it's a group and therefore you'll put the. Similarly, the same logic goes for UK, United Kingdom. You can also use the same logic for UAE, United Arab Emirates. Bahamas is a group of islands. Himalayas is a group of mountains. So all mountain ranges, the Alps, the Sayadris, Aravlis, so on and so forth will all take the, because they are representing group of mountains. Similarly, group of islands like Andaman, Nicobar, Lakshadweep. So if you look carefully, you always write Lakshadweep. Why are you saying the? Because it is comprising of multiple islands. So it has multiple islands, so it's a group and all groups are indicated by the. Another major use of the is for all musical instruments. If you look at typically musical instruments, we will always precede with a definite article the guitar, the sitar, the violin, the tabla, so on and so forth. Another point where you use the are for designations. So if you look at designations, you use like for example the PM, the governor, comma the CM. But what you need to keep in mind is these designations can't be local designations. We are talking about national or international reputation. So let's say you live in a colony and in that colony you have a president who takes care of the whole society. He will not be called as the president. So typically when I say designations, it will all be related to designations which have some national or international reputation. I hope you have understood the usage of articles. Please go through it again in your time. Let's go ahead. So the next topic that we will do are called prepositions. Now prepositions are nothing but preposition. So basically they indicate the position of an object with reference to a noun or a pronoun. So what you need to understand are prepositions are basically words that indicate location. So whether an object is in, near, beside, on top of, under, over, above, beneath some noun or a pronoun. So as long as you're describing locations and positions, you will have to use prepositions. There are a lot of prepositions in English language, but let us discuss some very commonly used prepositions. The first is preposition to and preposition at. To refers to a place, at refers to a most specific position. I am going to Delhi. But let's say you're going to a movie. Will you say I'm going to a movie? No, you will say I'm going for a movie, because for refers to a purpose. I am going for a movie and not to a movie. So for will be correct, it will not be to. So to will be wrong. My brother studies at the Department of Management Studies in IIT Bombay. So where does my brother study? At the Department of Management Studies. Where is this management studies? In IIT Bombay. So whenever you are doing comparison between two elements, the most specific, that's why I've included the word most specific, will take at. Remember, you can only use at when you are referencing it relative to something. For example, if you say I live dash India, you will say I live, for example, let's take this case, I live dash India. Then you can't say at India, so then it will become wrong. For you to say at, you will have to reference India with something. So whenever you're referencing relatively, the most common element will take at. Let's go to the next commonly used preposition, by and with. By is always used as an agent, something that you're using it to do your action. With means simultaneously. I will cut the tree by an axe. So using the axe to cut the tree. The sandwiches are made with jam. So jam is simultaneously applied on the sandwich, so on the bread. So therefore simultaneous actions indicate with. I am going with my friend, which means both of us are going together. Next, for and since. For is used to define a duration that is not properly defined. For example, Abhishek has been absent from the class for 3 days. Do you know which 3 days? Does it say last 3 days? No. So that's why the duration is there, but it is not properly defined. So you'll say for. It has been raining since morning. Now morning has to refer to today, and therefore since morning, you know it is properly defined, therefore you'll use since. Take a quick 2 seconds to solve this question using only these 4 prepositions. You can pause the video for 5-10 seconds and try and fill this blank. I hope you have done it by now. Let's look at the right answer. Now, the point of this question is for you to understand the role of preposition in any sentence. If you look at this sentence, it has 4 elements. Element number 1, element number 2, 3 and 4. Now, as I told you when I was explaining you at, which element is the most specific amongst India, Mumbai, Central Avenue and LIC Colony? The most specific is LIC Colony, so I'll put an at to it. Where is this LIC Colony? Central Avenue. Central Avenue are roads, so it will take on. Where is this Central Avenue? In Mumbai. Where is Mumbai? In India. So the point to drive home is, you can have multiple ins in a sentence. You can have multiple in, but you can only have one at in a sentence. That's the point that you need to understand. And also one more thing, when you're doing prepositions, be careful that there can be multiple prepositions that can go in one single sentence. So the key takeaway of this point is always understand the context. what the context is needed. Understand the context, because preposition per se will work, but if your context is wrong, then your preposition will be wrong. So always use the preposition with reference to a context. I hope you have understood this. Let's move on to the next topic. Now, the next topic that we'll cover today are called redundancies. Now, redundancies mean nothing but repetition. So you should always avoid repetitions. Whenever you see repetition in words, in phrases, in sentences, that should be avoided. Let's look at an example here. India is facing a financial crisis because of inflation, which drives up prices. Now, if you look at this phrase, it defines inflation, but inflation automatically means that the price has gone up. So when saying which drives up prices becomes a repetitive argument, and hence makes the whole sentence wrong. Similarly, the teacher warned the students that he will not repeat the lecture again. If you have used the word repeat, there is no point using the word again, because again it will be repetitive. Let's look at some of the redundant phrases that we come across very often in our day-to-day lives. So one repetitive phrase which I've seen happening across so many email threads is something called as "I will revert back." Remember, revert itself has an understanding that you will come back to him. So don't need to say revert back, only say revert. Similarly, combine together means nothing but combine. Close proximity is nothing but close. Over exaggerate. So if you're exaggerating, you're already doing it over. So there is no point of writing it both. You just say exaggerate. Sum total is nothing but total. True fact. So fact has to be true. So fact is fact. You don't need to unnecessarily write an explanation to this. So the key takeaway from this sentence, from this topic, is that please avoid repetition at every cost. Sentence correction does not like redundancies. So that brings me to the end of concepts of your lecture 5. In the next video, we will do some questions around this topic. Hope to see you soon there.